So, picture this, buried buildings are popping up like surprise party guests, especially in Moscow. These hidden architectural gems, chilling several meters underground, just love to mess with our historical timelines. I mean, who knew structures could be so stealthy? They're like the ninjas of history, waiting to challenge everything we thought we knew. Now, hop over to St. Petersburg, where the Winter Palace is playing hide and seek. It's got an entire floor buried. Talk about a dramatic entrance. Historians are scratching their heads, trying to explain how the city is built on marshlands, but it looks like they need a real history lesson. Maybe a trip to the School of Buried Buildings could help? And speaking of mysteries, Kazan has its own underground adventures. With constructions and buried floors popping up like last week's memes, it seems there's a pattern here. It's like a trend nobody knew about. Forget those local myths. We're diving into some serious buried architecture. Over in Prague, many buildings got that trendy elevation style. The first floors are literally on the down low. It's like a real-life version of The Floor is Lava. This architectural choice is raising eyebrows and questions about what people were thinking back in the day. Were they just super tall or really bad at leveling? And then there's Odessa, where catacombs and buried buildings are the talk of the town. They're like that mystery box you find in your attic. Most historians can't agree on where they came from or why they were built. It's like a historical debate club, and nobody brought snacks. Let's cruise over to Rome and check out the Colosseum. It was partially buried until the 20th century. Who knew gladiators had such a knack for hiding? This adds a little sprinkle of mystery to our understanding of how urban development goes down. Ancient Rome really knew how to keep a secret. Now, let's take a detour to North America. Historical maps from the likes of Jean-Baptiste Nolan and Philippe Watch show a mysterious sea that totally ghosted by the 18th century. It's like that one friend who always says they'll hang out but never shows up. What happened to that body of water? But wait, there's more. Modern satellite imagery is here to save the day, revealing lowlands that might just be remnants of that ancient sea. It's like playing a historical game of hide and seek, but the seekers are satellites. Could this explain why I can never find my keys? All those ancient waters are just messing with my vibes. And speaking of water, the region's flooded with lakes and protected lands, almost like an ancient water park that nobody told us about. This suggests that there might have been a massive inland sea once. It's like a history lesson with a surprise twist. We might need to rethink everything we thought we knew. Now get this, there's a report from the Blumkin expedition in Tibet that talks about technologies that could neutralize gravity. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Imagine ancient societies zooming around like they were in a cosmic roller coaster. How did they pull off such feats? Are we sure they weren't just really good at levitating? Speaking of advanced technology, there's this theory that polygonal masonry was made by a super smart civilization. I mean, who needs power tools when you can build like a pro? This theory totally flips the script on what we thought about ancient construction techniques, making them sound more like builders on a reality show than cavemen with sticks. But hold your horses. The concrete casting theory is under fire for lack of evidence. It's like when you claim to be a band geek but can't name a single song. Ancient builders likely had sophisticated methods we can only dream about, which is both cool and stressful for us modern folks. Now, let's rewind to the early 21st century when we had big dreams for advancements in art and craftsmanship. What happened? Now we're just scrolling through Instagram likes like they're the holy grail. It's like we traded in our ancient masterpieces for TikTok dances. Why is this happening? When comparing history, it seems past societies built real stuff that mattered, like architectural wonders, while we're busy chasing internet fame. Talk about a glow-up gone wrong. It really makes you wonder about modern values, doesn't it? Did we really think texting was the peak of human achievement? The city of Petra is a perfect example of ancient craftsmanship that totally puts our arts and crafts projects to shame. The intricate designs and engineering skills are like nothing we see today. Seriously, while we're focusing on binge-watching shows, these ancient builders were out here flexing their architectural muscles. Now, get ready for this plot twist. Unexplained markings on ancient objects are causing a global mystery. They look similar all over the world, leaving researchers scratching their heads. I mean, how did ancient people manage to snag the same design tips? Are we sure they weren't just swapping Pinterest boards? And don't even get me started on tool marks on ancient structures. Scholars are stuck in a never-ending puzzle game trying to figure out where they came from. It's like a history class where nobody has the answers. Just Google it isn't going to work for this one. Megalithic structures are all the rage worldwide, but researchers can't help but wonder what these giant blocks are all about. We're talking about ancient puzzles that still don't have solutions. Kind of like trying to assemble IKEA furniture with no instructions. Good luck with that. Even the Incas were left dazed about who actually built these complex structures. It's like finding an old family photo and not recognizing anyone in it. What's up with that? Our historical knowledge is like a game of telephone gone wrong. This thing called Plasticine technology suggests that ancient stones were molded like dough. Sounds like a baking tutorial gone rogue. It challenges everything we think we know about how builders worked their magic. Can we upgrade our history books to include how to shape stones for dummies? Recent archaeological studies are uncovering that blocks like those used in Sacsayhuaman were made from hydraulic lime. Like they were using some super sauce nobody told us about. These findings point to sophisticated techniques that modern science is just now catching up with. I mean, why didn't they share their secrets sooner? And then there's this clay technology for creating massive blocks. Way simpler than we ever thought. It's like finding out your favorite food is actually super easy to make. Now we're talking about an ancient method that could keep things fresh without turning to stone. You know, like me trying to keep up with my homework. Archaeological findings are popping up all over the globe, revealing ancient megaliths like they're in some epic scavenger hunt. Each discovery raises eyebrows and questions about what those past civilizations were cooking up tech-wise. Were they secretly advanced aliens? We need answers, people. And, just when you thought it couldn't get crazier, photographs of lesser-known ancient sites are surfacing like a Netflix documentary waiting to happen. These overlooked gems could be the key to understanding ancient construction practices. Seriously, who knew history could be so thrilling?